We went through a lot of struggles, and people always ask us, and I want to see, did you go through the same struggles, or I mean, what's the similarities, what's the difference? But like starting the podcast, what were some of the things that you felt were like, fuck? Y te empezabas a pensar like, am I really doing this right now, or like, should I do it?
Be real with us, bro. We don't want no cookie cutter stuff.
Okay, to start, it was the cameras.
Yeah.
When I put it out of the box, I installed it like that. I don't put any specifications, options.
Oh, okay.
It was just like that. The first episode, we recorded 3 times.
It's Monday. What's up, guys? You already know. We're back with the IQ Project. My name is Josh. I'm right here with my co-host, Ricky Tat.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
With our other co-host, Romeo Shades.
That camera?
Oh, I know. We have to see if he's going to tap
We
it.
got 3 cameras now, bro.
Once he's going to tap it, so it switches to that.
And we got our interviewer today, Hector. He is, what would you say?
A podcaster?
He's a podcaster.
Podcaster, yeah.
Podcaster.
No, but I was trying to say, like, what was his title for the podcast?
Oh,
Host, I guess. The host.
He's the host. Yeah, he's the host and owner of
Decisión Podcast.
Yeah, Decisión.
Yeah. Podcast is normally in Spanish. I know he's going to get out of his element right now. He's going to be talking a little bit in English. Well, a little Spanglish. You know what I mean? So thank you guys for doing this. Or thank you for doing this. We actually did a podcast with him. We did his podcast last month, no?
Yeah, last month.
Yeah, last month. And that was pretty fun. So we decided to cross platforms and just go at it.
No?
Yeah, he tested us, man. We went to his place and he had a nice little studio, and he made us speak in Spanish. So that was funny because we don't really speak Spanish. We speak it about 70% or so.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of Spanglish, huh?
Yeah, it was really fun.
It was
For me, it was really fun to get to know you guys. Thanks for being Decisión, and thanks for inviting me right here to IQ Project Podcast.
Well, before we get started, because it's going to be a really interesting interview, we're going to be talking about podcasting today, about like the whole struggles and the rewards of it and everything. But first of all, let's bring up the sponsorship.
That's
so
right.
For any
pays for
tattoo, any
Who pays for this? We do.
yeah, we pay for this.
We pay for this shit
So,
every Monday.
Any tattoo inquiries, any questions you have, please message us on Instagram, iconic_tattoo studio. For the podcast, it's IQ Project on Instagram and TikTok. I was going to say Tinder.
Yeah, we'll put the links below. We have Spotify now. What else we have? Apple Music?
Apple Music.
We're on there. So a couple people have told us, hey, do you guys have those Spotify and Apple Music? Because sometimes we're like working out or something, want to hear it.
Yeah.
So we do have them audio, guys. So we're expanding little by little, you know. So we're excited, man. So
I'm excited too.
And now we got you today. We can talk about podcasts. It's something that we all do, that we're learning as we go. You're killing it, bro. You're doing like fucking 3 podcasts a day right now.
Yeah,
you know?
right. Something like that. Some days, it was one time I make 6 on a day.
6 podcasts?
Yeah, it was crazy.
And they're like hour longs?
Hour and a 30, hour and a 45 minutes.
Bro, I'm drained after ours for doing 1.5, dude.
The other day I make one of 3 hours.
3 hours podcast?
Yeah.
We had like a 3-hour one. That was pretty draining. Like, especially, sitting straight, and because you're always aware of the camera, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
people think we're like naturally like good looking on camera and just chill and talk, but it takes a lot of work.
Yeah, we're sucking it in the whole time.
Yeah, that's right. It's a little bit crazy, but it's the life.
Are you comfortable in camera?
No.
You're not, huh?
Not.
I remember that you telling us
Yeah.
that you're very camera shy.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I'm just tímido, shy.
Timid?
Yeah.
For the camera. But I think it's getting. I'm getting loose with the camera right now. I'm feeling pretty comfortable right now. I know it's 3 cameras right here, and it's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Nice.
You seem natural. You seem natural, like you do it. You do it a lot.
Yeah.
You would think that, after
It'd be normal, huh?
after the 4th video in
But
one day,
remember ours, how we started though? We were pretty
Yeah.
shy too. Like,
That's the thing. That's
I didn't
the
know where to put
problem.
my hand. I was like, I'm not covering like this. And now I'm just like, sometimes I'm like making love to this shit.
Sometimes he's like this. Like,
Yeah, I'm just like, God damn, I wish I can get that. Like, it doesn't matter. That's the point.
Yeah, that's the point.
And I'm glad you're here so we can talk about that kind of stuff, because a lot of people have asked us, dude, how do you start a podcast? How do you how is it doing a podcast? You know, and we're like, we didn't wait to have all this stuff.
Yeah.
we just started with an iPhone. We say this every time we get a chance, right?
Oh,
we
yeah,
started with
I
an
remember.
iPhone, and we looked straight into the camera,
And an
and we're
iPad.
like, welcome
Okay.
to the IQ project. We're going to talk about tattoos and business. And we're like, I don't even know. We had at time we had 2 iPhones. We didn't know which one to stare at. Huh?
Oh, it's because we were trying to do the switchback, right?
Yeah.
But we were like, fuck,
okay.
where do we look?
One to him and one to me, and we're gonna do the post edit and switch back. So for the most of the time, we just stared at one, and then so we just looked awkward.
It's
But
crazy.
we wanted to do it. You know, we didn't wait to get 3 cameras. Now we got this like
Manager.
fancy manager in the back. Shout out to Anchored Minds, killing it. Thank you. Lights, you know, we got the background, you know, with the new studio, and it took a process, you know, and when we went to yours, we were blown away at how prolific you are, how constantly
And
working.
in a really small space.
Real
That's
small
the,
space.
That's
But
the thing,
still,
yeah.
like, I
But-
was amazed that you rent that spot out just to do podcasts. You know,
Yeah,
what I mean,
that's
not a
right.
lot of people would do that.
Yeah, it's because in talking with my wife, I said I want to invite a lot of women to the podcast, and I don't feel comfortable like telling, hey, you can come to my house to
Yeah.
record
Yeah.
a podcast.
Come to my house.
Crazy, yeah. It's like,
El
what?
maniaco.
That's right. And also, I have a business of trucking,
Okay.
trucking, and I need it. And the last minute, I say, you know what? We need it, and yeah, we can combine for the office for both projects.
So that's a good thing you said right now. Tell us a little bit about you, man. Hector, where you from? Really quick, just tell your people where you from. And
I'm born in LA, but I was raised in Culiacan, Sinaloa. And I come back here when I was 17 for a year. And I don't like the work to be up at 4 a.m. You know, I was young and at that age. And about a year, I decided to move back to Culiacan. And then I get married. And I decided that it's going to be a better life right here in the U.S. And we moved 10 years ago, 11 years ago back.
where do you in Riverside? Where do you stay?
Yeah,
at?
Riverside.
Riverside.
Yeah, since I get here, it was Riverside.
So what were you doing before you started a podcast? Like, were you just working? You said
Yeah,
you're a trucker, right?
Yeah, I was a trucker like for I think 3-4 years.
Local or nationally?
Local, no national. I hate that.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're
it
driving
was-
one of those big 16 gears.
Oh yeah, I drive a 10 speed
10 speed.
Freightliner.
Oh, okay, for that.
Yeah, but I decided also because I was expecting my first my second kid, and I can be out that much from my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to live in a apartment next to the downtown Riverside, like crazy people.
All the
Yeah,
partying.
yeah, drugs, people all around. Like, hey, you need something? I have it for you. And I decided to stay home, to stay close. And then I decided also to get my own truck, to own my own semi truck, start my own company.
Okay.
And I think I was happy with the decision since I started to running for the bills.
Yeah.
I say, oh, I know why every trucker wants to be
Their own
trucking for
their own owner.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So you were working for a company and then you decided to save money, then buy your own truck and now do your own, right?
Yeah, that's right. Because I never liked also to be like when people told you, hey, do this and do that, but they don't explain you, show you.
Yeah.
Is for me, it's like I don't want to be here. I want to be the guy showing to the other guy how to do it.
You knew you could do it better.
Something like that. Yeah.
So you do that, and then on the side you do podcasting. We got you into podcasting.
The thing it got me is I started listening to podcasts when the COVID hits in
COVID?
2019. And I like the concept, the charla with the people. Like I always look at the podcast from Mexico, Creativo, Dementes, and it starts to hitting me like I like to do that, to be learning from the people that is making something different, but at the same something like me, like deciding to start his own business or his project or her project. And I give you like I start to thinking about it, and when the COVID let the people be together again, I think, okay, it's time. It's now or it's going to be never, because I'm getting older, the bills are getting higher, and I have to do it now. Yeah, but it's something about helping people to know that the way is not like that easy, but it can be it's possible, right? Yeah, that's right.
And when you first started, what did you start with? Did you start like these guys with an iPhone or? how'd you
No,
record?
I start with
Start a little bit better.
He's kind of bougie.
it's a little bit only, but not this professional. I get two cameras. The G85 from Panasonic, I think.
Okay.
With that two cameras, two mics from Audio Technica, the ones that it like I think $100.
Mm-hmm.
Not that something fancy or something expensive. I already have the laptop, and
So you did your research before.
I did a lot of research. And then when I started seeing the prices, I was like, oh man, this is going to be
Expensive.
expensive.
How much research did you do before you actually did your first?
The first podcast?
Yeah, if somebody is interested, like, man, that sounds good. I want to start a podcast. Like, how much research did you do, like, about watching YouTube, how to buy equipment, how to edit, all that?
For the first thing, I always, when I make research for everything, I never use YouTube as the first. I use the internet, like Google, but I use DuckDuckToy, I think is the name of the browser.
DuckDuckGo?
DuckDuckGo, yeah, that's right. And I start to look, what is the best mics for podcast? I always read the first pages. If it's 6 pages, I read it, everything.
Wow.
And I start to make a log, okay, this. That's fine. And then for the cameras and like that, and if something is like weird for me or something like that, because for the cameras, I was reading that the best camera for podcasting have the thing that for the 30 minutes. And 30 minutes you have to like restart or something like that.
Yeah, we have that here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I was thinking, is going to be only me? Who is going to do that? And I started researching a camera that is good for podcasting that doesn't require the restart time.
Yeah, because I noticed when we did the podcast with you, we
Yeah.
just kept going.
Yeah,
And,
it's just turn it on.
Yeah.
Or another thing, if somebody wants to make a podcast and don't want to spend a lot of money, you have to get it's going to be a shout out, but it's I don't remember the name right now. The interface, the Podcaster Pro, I think Zoom 4, Podcaster Pro, something like that.
What does that do?
It's special for podcasting. It's
For the
have
audio?
already, for the audio. It's already for you can connect it directly to the laptop, or you just record there. Like me, I record there and then I transfer to the
Then
laptop.
you transfer. Okay.
Yeah,
Because you found a way around Carlos.
oh no, but I
Might
think
have to step it up though, because
yeah, that's for one person is for me it was the way to go.
you found a way. That's you did the research and you didn't say excuses. Like since we started, there's been like 4 or 5 people that tell me, "Oh man, I like your podcast. I've been wanting to do one. I want to talk about hip hop, or I want to talk about food. I want to talk about this." I'm like, "Well, just grab your phone and start."
Yeah.
No, but I want to save money till I get this camera, and then I go this, and I'm like, dude, we didn't wait for that. We just knew what we can do, and we started. And from there on, the assumption is we learn and we get better. You know. But you did your research and you tried some stuff, and I'm assuming you're gonna even invest in better equipment as you go, right?
Yeah, as we go, when it get bigger, yeah, we are going to check your equipment, because I always get amazed for Iconic and the start for the tattoos, for the tattoo shop, as I say to both of you. And then when I start seeing the podcast, I was like, oh wow, this.
Did you notice the quality?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, it's different. It's something else.
And you said you
Pat
saw
yourself on the back, yo. Pat yourself on the back, ain't your mind.
and you said you saw our first one, no? Like you went on YouTube and you saw
Yeah.
like our first videos. Yeah. So you seen how the struggle was, like
Yeah, that's right.
how Ricky was saying, like a lot of people try to put excuses in front and say, oh, I can't start this till I get a good camera, or I can't start this till I have a good background where I could do it, or things like that. But in reality, you really don't need all that stuff. In reality, all you need is just your phone and just your YouTube account. Upload it.
That's right, and decide that is something that you want to try, because if you go there like if you don't know if you want it, that is going to kill your project right away. It's going to be everything is is bad. Everything is nobody's going to listen to me, and that's the worst part is that.
Everybody thinks that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that.
I think what we did, well, I know I did it for sure. To get used to on camera, I would record myself more, like by myself. You kind of do this too,
Do what?
where you record yourself while you're driving and all that. I remember you showed me a video, no? Yeah,
When you start on your YouTube, no?
yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I started doing that too to get used to the camera. So I'll be driving and I'll just be talking to the phone. I'll never upload it, but
Yeah.
I got used to it, you know?
I got an upper hand on this podcast thing when I first started. I used to work with my brother for his party rental business, doing jumpers.
okay.
I remember we spoke about
Yeah,
this a
yeah.
little bit. But I knew that we needed content, right? So I would be with my phone and I would put it on a tripod and I would talk and I would display the jumpers and stuff. So that kind of got me used to it. But trust me, the first ones I did was just like, oh, let me do it again because I want to make sure that I said it right or I stuttered. Because I was, in my mind, you worry about how other people are going to perceive you.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
You
You
are-
care about that. You're gonna be
you
like,
are-
this food. But they don't really, nobody thinks that. Nobody. They're just like, people just fucking trip that you even have the balls or the huevos, you know, the
Yeah.
ganas to do it. Nobody's judging you on like, man, that guy doesn't know how to speak good in English. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody cares. But we think that people care.
That's the thing we call in Spanish el síndrome del impostor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like
Imposter syndrome.
you always say to yourself that you can be good, you can do that, you can. If you listen to that voice, you are never going to be a good. It's like I think Henry Ford. I don't know. I don't remember if it was Henry Ford that says that if you say you cannot do it, I believe you, because you say it.
Yeah. You limited
That's
yourself.
the thing. You're
And
starting like
that's
that.
big, dude. Self-limiting beliefs that were, man, I read this good book about that, like how self-limiting beliefs are ingrained in you from when you're small, you know, from your parents or your upbringing. And the challenge is to break those self-limiting beliefs that we think of ourselves, you know, that people tell us, you know, and that's always a challenge. That's why we have struggles with this kind of stuff, because if we believed that from ourselves all the times, you know, we would do whatever and we wouldn't care. But we always think like, oh, how are we going to be judged, you know?
But talking about that too, it's not something like a lot of people believe that's self-limited or what's it called or just called like having those abilities to be natural on camera and all that. A lot of people think it's natural, you know, you're born with it. No, like people work at it.
Yeah.
You know, it's something you have to work at every day, especially those
Self-talk.
Limited beliefs?
Limited beliefs. It's something you got to work on every day. You got to remind yourself like, okay, no, I'm better than that.
Yeah.
No,
Some people say, like, to that point, they'll say, like, no, but I'm not good on camera. Well, shit, you're not going to be good because you already think you're not.
Yeah.
That's
A
right.
tu punto, ¿verdad?
Yeah,
To
and
that.
speaking about that, it's sometimes in September when I start, sometimes I wake up and thinking like, oh man, I don't want to go and record me again. Like, no, why I'm doing this?
Yeah.
And I was erased
Oh my God.
that meaning, because you're doing for a good reason. No, it's not because, I don't know, for fame or something like that. It's at the
Fantoche.
at the end is I learn a lot from the people that get on my podcast, and I hope the people to watch the podcast learn too. That's the point.
So let's go back a little bit. Like I really want to know, like, I know I did it, but I know people want to know. We haven't really talked about it. What is your podcast about? You say about learning. What else?
And my podcast is about
But what is it called first? Like
is
this
Decision Podcast.
Decision podcast. And in English, it's
Decision Podcast. Yeah, it's
So-
about the history of the people, like entrepreneurs or some people that have projects, how they started, the decisions that make them go ahead with the project or the business. It's about the history of the people who start the business, how they run it, how that is like the secondary part of it. But I'm most interested in the people, in the history, and the decisions they make, how they are. How do I say this? How they are.
Dilo en español.
Cómo ellos llegaron del punto de donde empezaron a, ya sea trabajando por un cheque, to the way to decide that, hey man, I want to make this business because because I feel this, I believe in this, and that's the point.
You
that
want to get to the
history.
point where what happened in their life that they said, all right, I'm done working for the man. I'm going to do for me.
Yeah, that's right. And not even, I don't care if it's a business or it's a project like how do I say, like influencers, but not any type of influencer also.
Yeah.
It's something like always lives with the people with a new learning of something.
Positive.
Yeah,
right?
positive. Yeah, at the end it's positive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
And do you feel like every time you interview someone, you feel like you learn something new?
Yeah, I always get to my house and say, I love this podcast. And my wife tell me, again?
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 You
It's
love
like,
the one with us the most, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was special.
Put it on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always, I always learn something new, and not even if the podcast is like 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 3 hours. The other day I have a lady over there that she makes a brand about his father because he passed away. And everything she told me was like, wow,
It's just deep.
it's deep, yeah.
Did she cry in the thing?
No, she doesn't cry because we don't get all the way
Okay.
too deep, because she asked me like, hey, don't go because
Okay. Respect.
I have a question though. Like, so you say you learn from everyone, but do you also notice that a lot of the stories are similar of how when people decide, okay, I'm tired of working a 9 to 5. I'm tired of going to work fucking 5 days a week, working Saturdays, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to start my own business now. Do you realize that these people have the same mentality when they're thinking that? Or does something in their life happen where, you know, I'm gonna make the next step?
Yeah, I think the thing I saw is something similar, not the same, but some people is for the patron, because it's about, is, you know, like most people, right? Is like always yelling you what to do, what not to do, in a bad way.
Yeah.
And they start thinking like, okay, I want to start making my side job, my side struggle, my side hustle. And they look like, okay, I'm making this kind of money with this side hustle. Why I don't leave this job and focus all my energy on this hustle?
Go all in.
Yeah, that's one type of person. The other type of person is the person that since they were kids, they always is like, I want to be the boss. I want to be something mine. That since they start. And they have always that mentality, and that friends or family that push them up to that side of the life, and they start making that business around that.
Like earlier.
Yeah, it's something like that. Like some people is also the COVID. When COVID hits, some people do like the side job, and they look like, okay, I'm making money doing this that I always wanted to make it, but they don't make it because of the fear, the critics or something like that, and they start doing for the COVID, and they leave the job and start keep all the focus on the business.
And it's crazy that such an event, you know, obviously COVID, you know, it affected a lot of people, but it's crazy that something like that had to come in and mess everything around for everybody's life, and then all of a sudden say, well, you know, I'm going to start my hustle that I always wanted to do because I can't work over here anymore, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And they start something, they realize, damn, I can make more money doing this than listening to the boss.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? And had COVID, so COVID in a way is like a new opportunity. If we look back at this in the history back like 10, 15 years from now, we're going to say like COVID was an opportunity for people to, you know, take a pause on their life and then start something new.
Yeah.
I think it was an event where it depends what kind of mentality you were at. If COVID hit, I think you either went, fuck, my life is over. You know, what can I do? Or you went, oh, fuck, my life just changed. Now I'm going to do this, you know, and go all at it. It's just, like you said, it's the mentality on people.
Yeah, I have some people too, like they told me always, I don't know why they tell, hey, the COVID is a worst thing for a lot of people. I don't want to say this, but for me, it's got a good thing. But I don't think the COVID is the thing. I think it's the push only, like, hey, start doing your thing, your shit. Or that thing that always is in your mind, like you thinking all the time, like, hey, I want to do this. I have this idea. Maybe this product is a good product or something like that. But I don't know. The COVID is similar, like for all the people to start the the side hustle.
Yeah, I was looking back and talking to some of my clients when I tattoo them, and I always ask them, if they're ever interested in starting their own business, and some of them say, yeah, I would like to do this, I would like to do that. But I think COVID got us uncomfortable,
Yeah.
And when you get uncomfortable, that's when you start taking risks and different stuff. And if COVID didn't happen, we would have been living the comfortable lives that we all make of each other. We're paying our rent, making our money. And so the ideas in our head, I want to do this, but I don't know when, I'm going to save a little bit more money. Or
Yeah, that's right.
This, and it's never the right time. We all know this. It's never the right time. It's just, you just got to do it. But with COVID happened, it was the right time for some people.
That's the thing.
That's
yeah.
interesting, man. So what kind of, give us an idea of what kind of people you've invited. Like, give us some general entrepreneurs that.
Yeah,
you don't have to say no names.
Yeah, it's people from the food industry, from the social media industry, I have the other day one entrepreneur that is making how do you say it? He is showing the companies like a philosophy for them to be a better company for the root.
Okay.
That kind of stuff from the construction size, from every single angle. I have the other lady who is a writer.
A writer?
Yeah, a writer. Yeah, very different stories too. But everything have similar. That some have that passion. When I started speaking with them, that passion since the childhood. That I want to make something better for my future. And the others is more like, okay, I have to come from Mexico because, I don't have money, and I have to start working in the U.S. and all that the stigma that the U.S., the construction side is the more paid, is the more money. And I don't think that's true because I see a lot of industries that they make really good money, more money than the construction side or the trucker side or something like that, like you for the tattoos. And I think 20 years ago, nobody is going to tell, hey, you have to make a tattoo studio and you are going to be big or something like that. You are going to have serious money.
Yeah.
But right now, I think every industry that you have a passion for, you can go because is a way in every single one. Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, we talk about that too right now, like the stigma, like, I was born in Mexico, but I was brought here at 3,
Oh, okay.
And then so I just grew up right here. But I have a lot of family members that throughout my childhood have come over here and they say, man, I want to get into construction or whatever it is, but it has to be like hands with using your hands and labor, hard work, because it pays well. And I'm like, well, damn, how much do they pay in Mexico? One time I went to Mexico and I asked a young kid, he was an albañil, he was a masonry worker. I'm like, you have a good job? He goes, yeah, that's one of the best ones around here. And he told me how much he made. I think he made like $50 a week.
Oh,
I don't know how much was that in pesos. And I was like, $50 a week, and that's well paying here. I was like, no wonder people are coming from Mexico over here to work where they make $1,000 a week, or at the time maybe it could have been like 800 or something,
Yeah, that's right.
It's drastic.
It's a big change.
And so that's why they think, I'm going to trade my labor in Mexico to labor here, and I'm going to make money. But in reality, there's people over there that have better skills than just labor. They're probably good communicators. They're probably good artists. They're probably good people skills, but they don't know that there's other opportunities.
Yeah.
Well, now I seen that, like you said, people are using social media to make money from over there in Mexico. There's a lot of people that are creating podcasts.
With like TikTok.
They're becoming influencers, and you see them. I mean, they're making good money because they're flashing their chains and everything.
Yeah, that's right.
But I think the culture is changing, and
Of course
I
it's
do
changing.
understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, just 20 years ago when I was experiencing family coming over, that was my point. That back then we didn't have social media. Like, nobody was making TikToks and getting paid. MySpace was around, I think, at that time. Shit, I'm fucking dating myself, but do you have family from over there, right?
From Mexico?
Not Mexico, from
Salvador.
Salvador, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any family that thought, coming over here to get onto labor was like the magic way or what?
I know I wouldn't know.
No?
I don't.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I'm not really in touch with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have a lot of them, dude. Like, I can name a lot of uncles that pass by, whether it's from Mexico or South America, any of those countries, right?
Yeah.
They think that it's just only labor is the way.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
now with social media, again,
No, and everything. You can, this thing that it was a boom, like I think 3 years ago, the drop shipping thing that you don't own the,
drop shipping,
yeah, you don't own the inventory. You just put a web page and
the landing
everybody,
page. And if you can generate attention to your landing page,
you make
you
money
can make
from
money
that.
and you don't do anything, not even packaging. You just send the leads over to the people.
Yeah, that's right. Every single people is changing. And also, coming back to the question of Josh, another thing that I saw from the people that came from Mexico is that they have a job over there for all his or her life. And they say when they get here, I never going to come back to that. But when they struggle here, they come back to that job and they start making her business from the job. And that's
From
crazy.
what originally they were good at, huh?
Yeah, but I think it's the same stigma that if you are like a bakery guy over there, you cannot make money here in the US, or you are going to have that respect from the people. Yeah, because when I get here and I start like working, I start working in a company of Windows. It was the first job that I get. All the people ask me like, and why you are not on the construction side? Why you are on a warehouse?
Yeah.
That's not a work for a man. And I was like, it's the same hard work of construction or everything. And that's crazy that when I get to know these people that is a baker guy or I don't know, another thing, and they come back to make a bakery here, they find a way to make more money than his job, regular job.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's also the stigma, like, of, I don't know, it's a stigma or like tradition or something, but like how you said, like, you're not a man unless you're working with your hands.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? Or you're working hard in the sun. When in reality now, you could sit inside in the air conditioner and make twice as much money as you can before.
That's right.
But I feel like, this is my opinion, I feel like a lot of people didn't know that when they got there. Like, we could say now, like, in Mexico, you can still make money working there, just doing social media, right? But I think people are thinking more about how to survive that next day than to how do I live for the next 5 years making that money for social media. Where here we could, okay, I plan out my next 2 years, I'm going to just struggle, which is us struggling is not that bad compared to over there. And then I'll start making it.
Yeah, so it's a lot different right here from over there from Mexico. I can speak from Mexico, right? And that's another point that you can planificar here. You can set up like, okay, I'm going to, I don't know, keep safe 200 per check, and I'm going to start in 6 months my hustle, and I'm going to make it. And they know when they start how hard it was to start that hustle. And for that day is like, okay, I want to give you everything I have to make this happen. And that's another thing. I don't know if the people right here is so, how do I say it? Is the American people is like really easy on the task. Like when I started the warehousing thing, they say like, no way to work here. Here we only works Mexican or something like that. But you cannot see any güero in the warehouses.
Right.
It's something crazy. I don't know why, but it's the way it is. Yeah, the people doesn't like to, like you said, they prefer to work in the office or in the houses, and it's better. And I say, if it's a good job, go and do it, because if it's pay the bills and it's something that makes you happy, what else do you want from here?
Yeah. And that's why we do this podcast, to talk about this kind of stuff, to even help people that our community listens to, and just to show them that, there's a person here in front of us that is investing in himself, right? By
Yeah.
creating a company, because your Decision Podcast is a company.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a company about getting attention and communication, right? And eventually, it's gonna make enough money where you're gonna be able to sustain yourself and probably leave trucking or do trucking as a side gig, right?
Yeah,
because
that's
this is your true passion, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Were you always like very talkative person aside before the podcast? Were you like the person like, oh, I've been a Hector, that guy can talk, like?
That's a funny thing because when you first met me, I am very shy. I am very quiet. But when we already are friends,
When it's in your circle?
yeah, you cannot chat. No me puedes callar. It's something crazy. And I start talking because I like to be alone, to be like with my thoughts, thinking all the time. I don't want to be on the White House because everybody is like, hey, esto. It was like, okay. I don't like that. I don't know that work. And now with the podcast is the other way. I have to be with somebody speaking with the camera, and it's another facet of me. It's like I suppose that I give for the trucking. I like it for the money, for the freestyle, to start, right?
Yeah.
Because pay the bills, pays everything that I have to
Makes pretty
pay.
good money.
Yeah, and also it's my own company, and it's not that hard. Like, for half like a restaurant, for half like a tattoo studio, is more difficult. It's more like okay, I need to be an artist or to know how to make all this happen. But as a trucker, the truth is you know how to handle weight, you know how to drive a stick shift, and how to park it. And all the truckers are going to hate me, but that's the principal 3 points, right? And it's easy. When you give it a practice, it's going to be easy. And then when I think hit COVID, and I start thinking, I love podcasts. I love to learn. I have to do it. And I leave that shy on the side, and I decided to start it.
Do you think doing podcasts has helped you outside of podcasts? Like if you're at a family event, now you're not shy because you're constantly getting out of your comfort zone of like talking. Do you think it's helped you? Because I know for me, I'm timid as well, and I had to like mentally prepare.
Oh, okay.
But because we're like in front of cameras, it's kind of helped me when I'm in public. I'm able to speak more, confidently because of situations like this. You think it's helped you?
The thing is, when I'm with the family, I'm like the funny guy. Like I never took nothing serious. If they don't tell me, hey, this is serious, okay, we can speak serious. But if not, I always making jokes, always with the flow, with the chat. But yeah, it helped me in the way like when I get there, it's not like before it was like a little, I want to sit right here in the back waiting for, hey, Hector, come on, let's go have a drink or something. And right now it's different. It helped me a lot of be out of my comfort zone to learn something new. Yeah, it's something funny, but yeah, it helped me. And now that I thinking about it, yeah, it helps.
Even when meeting new people, have you noticed that too? Because I've noticed I'm the same way. I'm very shy off camera, but I've noticed as well. Like even talking or meeting new people, I approach them differently, I guess. And in a way, I thought about it the other day too. I was like, I feel like I approach them like if I'm interviewing them for a podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I'm like thinking of like questions to ask already, and I'm just like kind of rebuttal everything, and yeah,
it's something like that too. Because before I was like the guy like they told, hey, this guy is muy sangrón. Because I get there like, oh, hi Hector. Oh, hi, how are you? Good, and you? Good. Okay. It was just like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
they break the ice.
No, they have to break the ice, and I was the guy like, oh, okay. How's your family? Good, and yours? Good. Oh, okay. You work? Yes, and you? Yes. Oh, okay. It was something like that. And now it's like, say, Josh, it's something like, why can I ask to this guy? Because he said this and he's told me that. Okay, I'm going to start making the conversation like go this way. But yeah.
Have you read any books on personal growth?
Yeah,
that made you a better communicator? Because
I like to read a lot, but I read like from everything: personal growth, fiction, old like Conde de Montecristo, something. I read philosophy. Yeah, a lot of things.
Because what I realize in podcasting is a couple things. Podcasting is not only communicating, right? As I watch our podcast when we're trying to clip them and put them on reels and stuff, I'm like, God damn, I'm all over the place. I need to be more concise, more finish my sentences, because I'm thinking about 4 different things when I'm trying to talk to you, and then as I'm saying it, I'll leave it halfway. And I'm like, I need to be better at this. So it's a communicating part, right?
Yeah.
And it's also analyzing your communication. But also, too, it's hard, dude. People don't realize sitting in front of here, listening to your story, we have to listen, too. We have to listen and understand what you're saying. So we're not just like, and by the way, and then we're just hitting you with questions. So it's like, ¿cómo se dice? When you're in a cop and you're...
Interrogation.
Yeah, interrogation. It's more of a conversation. And podcast is an art form. And so I'm wondering... You did it very well to us, you know? You were listening very well. So I'm wondering, where did you learn that? You must have had it naturally without, I think the fear of people judging you kept your skills from shining. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's from Mexico, because when I was on Mexico, I always was the guy that I was always listening to the people speak. I never put on the conversation or something like that. I was always... hearing because I started reading when I was like 15, 14 for my Spanish teacher over there in Mexico, Professor Mario. He presented me one book. It was about some history from Mexico, and it really get me like, oh, I want to keep reading, because I was at that time really shy. I never go out from my house. I always was in front of the computer playing Counter-Strike or something like that, or Pokemon, something. And on the books I found like a window to the world, like, oh, I was reading this history, and I don't know, I portray the things that I read. And I think when I entered the high school, almost to finish the high school, I started reading the personal growth things, like, I don't even remember, but I think it was something about Tony Robbins or something like that, something of the famous. And I was like adquiriendo that of, oh, okay, you have to listen all the time to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that always keep on my head, that you have to listen to learn.
Yeah.
And that, I think is for that. But besides that, yeah, I share that it's really difficult to have a conversation with somebody that doesn't want to be open, that doesn't want to share, because I have podcasts where it's only questions and 2-3 answers, and I was like, okay, oh, sorry, this and this and this, and
because they don't want to share too much. Is that
yeah,
what you're saying? But they accepted it though. Think about that. They accepted the podcast. You know, they want to talk about themselves, right? But I think they didn't want to share more because they didn't have that. You have to ask them the questions in a way we get them more comfortably. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think also it's because maybe they don't want to go deeper, because then it's going to be out of the business and it's going to be a start about you as a self. You have to, because my invitation is, if you can come and share the history of how you start your business, not like you go to the department of I don't know, of permits and ask for a permit to health or something like that. No, it's about quién fuiste before you start the business.
Who were you?
And who are you right now, right? What the decisions to take you over there. And sometimes I think is you don't know the people, because with you I feel really comfortable because I was following you before I started the podcast. Okay. I was always watching you for the tattoos and all that. And I think it was, for me, like I said in that time, is something like, I think I know them, but I know I don't know.
Correct.
Don't know them. I want
you only
to
see what we show.
Yeah,
not
that's right.
True. Mm-hmm. Do you make the effort to learn as much as you can about them? Because like with us, it was easy. We had a lot of content out there. I seen a couple interviews. You had a plumber. You know, do you? Obviously, they don't have that much information out there in social media, right?
Yeah.
Do you it's probably hard. I don't know if I should ask this question, but is it hard to learn a little bit more of them prior to the interview?
Yeah, I'm like a stalker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I was about
follow
to say that.
I follow the business and I follow the owner of the business.
Okay.
If they accept the follow, okay, I check the Instagram page, right? If not, I just have to go through the old feed of the Instagram, the people who, how do you say, who
Connected with them?
to connect with them, the accounts they follow, and I start to make the history from there.
Because we do that.
Yeah, I want to get a little bit of of knowledge of them and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we recently started doing that more. Before and even now, like what we do, we have a general questions like how you have as well, and then we'll see how the conversation goes, and then we have a main idea of what we're talking about the whole time, but we'll just let it open. You know what I mean? If we start moving this way, we'll start moving this way, then we'll move it back, and then we'll just keep the conversation going. And sometimes like we have to do that because, like you said, there's not that much information about there. People out there, like artists that we talk to, or artists that we interview.
Yeah.
A lot of artists are not open on social media. They show their work.
Yeah,
They
that's
don't
right.
even show their face sometimes. So it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's when it's like, for me, when it's like that, because I have more questions than you, right? I have a structure like
I
a lot
saw
of
it.
questions.
I was like, God damn, dude.
You're
this
the
guy's
one that
gonna-
made us do these questions. I was like, we gotta get better at that.
We got to look a little bit more like we planned this.
Yeah, but the first question for me is only like to get the people open. Just to open it.
Loosen them up a little.
To loosen up, and if they follow me, we can speak about anything. Not only the business. It's like you say, we can go this way, that way. I don't care. The thing I care is that the people know, or I, in this case, I get to know this person. That's the most important thing, because you can know the business just to see it on Instagram. You can know if he sell or doesn't sell, if he is doing well or no.
You can kind
But
of judge it.
the thing is, know the people, know the owner of the business, know how he make that really happens. That's the point.
Is there one that out of all the ones how much you've done already up to like?
33.
Is there one that stands out in your mind that you can talk about?
I can about Iconic Studio.
Oh, okay. What impressed you about us? Like,
Oh, everything since how do you started. I was impressed by the tattoos, right?
yeah.
Before. But when you shared the history, I was like, I already know the history because I
Because we had it up there.
yeah. But when you shared that, like the thing of the house, when you just tattooing people, and then it was blow my mind. Like I was thinking, like, oh, these two cousins, since they start, they have that in common, or that vision of
The vision.
yeah, we are going to get over there, like that, like. And when I see you right now, where are you at with the equipment that is for podcasting is not for tattooing? Is like, wow, man, they know their shit that they say on the street.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, because that is exactly what me and him, we have the same vision. And if we didn't have the same vision, we wouldn't be able to accumulate what we have, in
that's
such
right.
a short time. But that's why I think we should be telling our story. And we told this to an artist last week too. Tell your story, man. Everybody has a story. You have a story, Romeo.
Yeah, that's
Struggles,
right.
obstacles, igual como tú, us. Even though he has his own story and I have my own story, we have a story that our lives combined together.
Yeah, that's right.
And we always gotta retelling it. And I always say that we always gotta tell it so that people understand why we do this stuff,
Yeah.
And they'll have better, like how you said right now, you have like a better understanding of us, a better respect, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Because we're able to share that story and that story behind of why. We didn't just do this to get fame and stuff. Like, we really care. We had our struggles, dude. People have told us no many times. So now we want to bring information to people, not only in tattooing, but mostly in business, both of them, right? And we want to help people so that they don't get that many no's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah, that's the point, that right there, to share the information is the most, I think is the most, la mejor cosa que existe in this world, because if we don't share that, then it's only for us. It's like why we are keeping it. If
Well, I think it goes back to like, especially in the tattoo industry, it has a lot of history of people not wanting to share information, and the reason why is because they don't want to show you, and then you're gonna go take their money, take their customer and all that. But I believe right now with the internet age, we're able to see that it doesn't matter because you can show that person how to do it. He can learn from like 10 of the best artists, but he's not gonna be able to do it the same way as they can. You know what I mean? There's always gonna be that one thing that you could do different that others can't do.
yeah,
And that's
that's
what's
right.
gonna set you apart.
Is your essence? It says in English or no? Esencia?
Essence.
Yeah, it's your essence that you put on every word, because for I think the tattoo, you make it like everyone else, right? You have your instruments, your everything, but the thing that makes you special is the way you do it with in really thinking, like you say, not only I want to I don't know charge 5,000 for this tattoo. No, I want to make this tattoo because it's a piece of art. That's the thing. Seeing the other angle, not just the angle of the money. Because the money is, for me, it's a tool. It's a tool, and if you have success on your business, it comes by itself. You don't need you only to pursue the money. You have to do it since tu pasión is the way.
Yeah. We also
your
believe
essence.
the same thing, what you said. Money is a tool for us, you know what I'm saying? It's not we don't think it's evil. We don't think it's good. I mean, for speaking for myself, you know, but I think we all talked about this in other podcasts, but it's just a tool. And if you're going to know how to, in order to get money, you have to be good at what you do, you know, and then that money can be used, and we could go and buy fancy cars, or we can go and invest it back into a podcast or any other projects that's going to bring us more like value.
TJ.
Yeah,
A night in TJ.
Or not at TJ, se va rápido.
that's right. Yeah, that's crazy. But
I want to know some of the struggles you went through.
Yeah.
Like,
for the podcast or
yeah,
for
like I'm really interested because I know we went through a lot of struggles and people always ask us, and I want to see, did you go through the same struggles, or, you know, I mean, what's the similarities, what's the difference? But like starting the podcast, what were some of the things that you felt were like, fuck? Y te empezabas a pensar like, am I really doing this right now, or like, should I do
Be
it?
real with us, bro. We don't want no cookie cutter stuff.
Okay, to start, it was the cameras.
Yeah.
When I put it out of the box, I install it like that. I don't put any specifications, options.
Oh, okay.
It was just like that. The first episode we recorded 3 times for that.
3 times?
3 times, yeah.
The same day?
No. One. The first one we finished it with the cameras ugly as hell, the audio ugly as hell. I was my laptop next to me, and I don't know. I don't even know why I have my laptop next to me. I think I was monitoring the podcast, but the laptop it was only right there, blinking like, oh, you need more power. Oh, you have an email.
A distraction
Yeah,
more
so
than a
distraction.
tool.
And then I saw in my house, and I say, oh, you know what, this is garbage. I have to do that again. I started to making the research for the cameras, and I call is my compadre, the plumbing guy.
This is the one that you interviewed?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I told you, hey, you know what? We have to do this again. And he said,
Otra vez,
okay.
chingao.
When? And I told him, I need like 3 days. Okay, that's fine. And I started making the research for the camera. And I combined 2 videos from 2 people I found. And I made the options, the settings, the custom settings. And I love it. When I get over there, and this is funny part. When we start recording the second podcast of the same episode, I forget to put the recording on the interface for the audio.
Oh,
We don't
so
have
you
audio.
just had
The audio of the cameras. And was horrible. And then I say, oh, you know, this happened. Okay. He said, what do you want to do? You know, let's go and have a meal and come back. Okay, that's fine. And the third one was the good one. Nice. Everything was smooth. Everything was perfect.
But I bet you've never forgotten to push that button no more.
No, never. I always looking like, and in the third podcast, I have my SD cards like 128 gigas. gigabytes, and it's a lot of space for audio. It's like 50 hours. And I changed it for the interface. I put it on the camera, and I put the other one on the interface. I was reading like, you only have 15 minutes. And I was thinking like, okay, I don't know what is happening, but I have to record it right now, this episode. And I started recording it, and the same. At the 15 minutes, it stopped recording. And we make a podcast like an hour 20. But the good thing, I already have prepared with the audio of the cameras. I put it the settings. And we edited with that sound. Not the best, but it was good. But I don't know that I have to format the SD cards from the devices.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking like, okay, I erase it on my laptop, and that's good. And when I get there, it was like, oh shit, man, like what the fuck I'm doing?
What obstacles did you have like with people though? Like
with
I know
people?
you had issues with the devices, and that can be fixed. Tell us a little bit of, because dude, even getting interviewers is hard. You know?
With the people, it's only the nose. Yeah, the nose is the big problem. Some people say right away like, okay, I don't have the time, I don't feel good right now, something like that. That's okay. Yo lo comprendo. Yeah. But other people is like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty excited. Can you give me like, I don't going to say names, but the second podcast that I was to record, it was with an entrepreneur that he told me, okay, that's fine. Yeah, we are going to do it, all this, all that. He gave me the date and everything. And I was waiting on my studio, my office, right? And he never shows up.
Yeah.
And I was asking like, hey, what happened? Just tell me, hey, I can do it. Oh, that's fine. Yeah. And he answered me like, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, tell me like, hey, I can go and do it again because I have podcasts with friends of him also. And they told me like, I don't know what they told them, right? But he called me back, and I was like, oh, okay. In a few months, I'm really like, and
you're booked up right now.
Yeah, I'm everything booked up to December, and I say, hey, this happened, and he take it like in a bad way because he was like, hey, man, but you gave me the invitation sometimes ago. Yeah. I say, yeah, but right now I can do anything. I have to work. If I do this for a living, okay, I have the whole week free. But no, I only have one day of the week right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you invited us, I took that serious, you know what I'm saying? Because that was our first time doing an interview for somebody else. We were doing interviews, so I mean, first of all, we got excited, like, oh, somebody wants to interview our story.
You know, I get excited when people say me yes, I get excited. Yeah, I don't know you because I'm so small, right? But when you say me yes, I was like, okay, I'm doing the good thing. And the most thing I appreciated from my podcast, at the end, when the people say like, hey, I really enjoyed it. Yeah. The truth is I feel really comfortable with you speaking about my business or everything. And when I remember when we get down from the office and you saw the other guy and say, hey, you are going to make a podcast? And he say, hey, yes. Oh, he's a good interviewer. He's a really pump up. Like
I hyped him up. Hyped you up, huh?
Yeah.
And he did good.
Yeah, he did good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing we learned here, huh? Like we got a lot of no's. We still get no's. We still get no's. But that doesn't stop us because I understand that this is our project. This is not their project. And we need them to more than, to do this thing, right? So we have to be understanding of it. And it's a strategy that you have to be considerate of that. You know what I'm saying? Some people are going to jump on it right away. Others you're going to have to ask them for months or whenever they're ready, right?
But that could also be a strategy, though. I mean, you kind of did it in a way where, say you want to interview that person and he's unsure. Well, now you're going to interview everyone around him. Yeah, and they're all going to tell him to do it. Yeah. So now you're going to get them. You know what I mean? That's a different way.
And the thing is, the first day I started inviting people, I invite like 80 accounts.
80 accounts?
80 accounts.
You just DM them?
Yeah, DM.
Hey, would you like to do my podcast?
Yeah, I always invite by DM. Yeah, I don't want to like call or something like that. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I always send the message.
The rejection's better on text.
Yeah, that's right. And I received I think 65 no's. And the other 10 like maybe a little bit. I need more time, or let me see your videos first, and
You
then
didn't
we
have
can do it.
anything on.
No, nothing.
Yeah, because when you invited us, I looked and I'm like, oh, he has like 3 only, so he's starting.
Yeah.
You know, and we remember when we were just starting. I wish everybody would say yes, so that's why we said yes. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. It's crazy that you had you're so bold to be like, I'm gonna just DM people. Who cares that I don't have any? Because a lot of people would stop right there, bro. They'll be like, well, I'm not gonna invite anybody because they're gonna look at my Instagram and they're gonna see that I don't have anything, so they're gonna be like, well, I'm not gonna believe this guy.
No, that was one of my decisions. When I get 10 years, I want to start publishing something, because I don't want to. Because I invite a lot of people that know me, and I don't want to say like, hey, it's me, come. It's like, hey, because I know you, you have to come or something like that. I don't want that. And then when I get the 10 years, I say, okay, let's go with the first one. And we started right there. Yeah, but it was something like that. Yeah, and the second day it was like, I think like another 45 invitations.
Yeah, 45. Wow.
Something like that.
When you
Always
start DMing more people.
no, something like that.
Do you, since we're talking about struggles, do you ever find yourself, because you said how many people you interviewed in one day once? What was the most?
Six people, yeah.
Do you ever find yourself feeling mentally drained, or your voice goes out towards the end of the day?
I think that time, the last one that it was, I feel like bad. I feel like, oh man, again, like what I want to ask this the entrepreneur or something like that. But when I start, it's everything like, okay, it's over. Like, okay, we started chatting, speaking, and it's changed because this guy come with a different energy. Like he wants to be in the podcast, right? He comes like positive, and everything changed right
boom,
there.
you're just
Yeah,
back up. That's
yeah,
cool.
it's back up.
So it's like a reset button because you finish with one, but you start over and you get a whole brand new story, right?
Yeah.
So
The thing is when they don't show up on the morning, because the other day I have like 4 in a day, because I getting less because it was. I think my podcast always is going to be like an hour, but I think since the podcast number 10 I feel more comfortable with the people and started chatting more. Like it was an hour 20, an hour 30, an hour 40.
Yeah.
And I have to like, hey, you know what? Please, can you give me an hour because I'm not going to be ready. Because also when I finish the podcast, I have to upload all the videos to my laptop to get free the space.
Oh, that's right.
SD
For the
cards.
next guy. Yeah.
It's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes time.
I think that's why we set a limit of like, we tell people from 1 to 3. Just to make sure to tell them. Because usually, I think the longest one we had was 3 hours, right?
3 hours.
Right, Carlos? Yeah. 3 something maybe. But yeah, so I think that's our break. Like it's just, we know for sure it's going to be 3 hours here. And that's an hour for us setting up here. So we get here at 12. We don't start interviewing till 1. And then we tell them you're going to be here till 3. But normally we finish before then.
Yeah, it's one history, but I don't know if I share it, the guy is going to know it's him. But I don't care. It's fine.
We're not mentioning
Yeah, no,
he'll know, but
no, he's going to the podcast now.
He's going to the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, he's going to record to the podcast because the first time he's the same. Give me the date, the hour, and everything. I was ready on the office, and he never shows up. I don't know why that hits me really bad. That one, it was like, oh man, I was thinking like, why I'm doing this if the people is saying me yes and then doesn't show and never.
Right.
¿Nomás era una primera vez que te hizo eso? O?
It was the first time, that one.
Yeah.
And then, okay, I was like, I come back to my house because my office is really near my house. And I have a conversation with my wife, and she's like, shut up. Start doing it again. Don't worry. Okay.
Dude,
That's
we had
fine.
to interview your wife too, man. It seems like she like puts, you go this way and then you get down on yourself, and she like helps you up.
Yeah, she always told me like I have a corrida de caballo and a stopped of burro. Yeah. No, she's the one that is the podcast life for her, because the first days I was like, no, I'm not going to do this anymore, because other people also, okay, I want to finish the story.
Okay.
Then these people never show up, never send me a message why or something like that.
They don't find it serious. Right?
And I start making the podcast. start making it. I think, and one day he's like, hey, sorry boss, but I missed the date, I missed the hour, and okay, that's fine, don't worry. But you know what? I want to be in your podcast, and also I want to bring somebody else with another business to be in the podcast the same day as I. And I was like, okay, but you want to be together or what?
Yeah.
No. We are ready to, I want to be first and then second.
Then him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I was, okay, that's fine. I want to give you, I think I give in a month from the message. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We are going to be there. And the day still doesn't come, but I'm hoping he's going to be there because...
Do you think he's going to be there?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
you know why? Because he's seen friends of his being on there, and now he sees it as, oh, you know, I didn't take it serious at first, but my friends did it, and they say good things about it, and now they see you growing.
It's that social proof we're always talking about.
Yeah. That social proof.
Yeah. And also, I have another people that doesn't go still to the podcast, and I have to cancel 3 times for them because it's at the night, and the first time I have a podcast that I have to go with the invitado to another part because he told me, you don't know this part of Riverside? No. Okay, we finish the podcast. You are coming with me. I don't care.
Oh, okay. They want to take you out to eat or something?
Yeah. No, it's to the wash, they call it, for the 4x4.
Oh, they took you there to the washes?
Uh-huh. Oh. And I was, okay. And they say, hey, you know, this happened. Okay, that's fine, boss. Don't worry. Okay, thank you. The next time, I was this podcast for 3 hours. And I told him, hey, you know what? It's going to be very late, and I know you don't want to be here, and even me, we can reschedule. Okay, that's fine. And the third time is like we are waiting, and I hope he's going to make the podcast right there. But it's
at one point you have to decide, like, are they serious enough too? You know what I'm saying? Because your schedule's getting more busier as you go.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
Was at that point where you were scheduling?
Or? Yeah, I was rescheduling.
Oh, you're the one rescheduling.
Yeah, 3 times I rescheduled.
Oh.
That same person.
The same person. And never I see something like, oh, no, you know what? No. And that's the good thing that they understand and they still want to be in the podcast. Yeah. That motivates me a lot for keep going.
Yeah. Cool. So after doing 30 plus podcasts, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, dude, that's what trips me about you, that we do one once a week, you know, and we've done over 30 in a span of like a year. You did it in a month or 2, you know? That's crazy. You know, that just shows how much you figured it out how to do it more, you know, more out there.
Or even like how bad you really want it, you know, you could really.
Yeah. To that point, like, because we have our other businesses too. I mean, our other tasks, right? So we just can't do that. But like, looking back at all those, what have you learned about doing podcasting?
About doing podcasting?
Yeah, like what did you come, you know, you probably talked to your wife about this. Like, what did you learn about it?
About energy. About the people's energy. When you know people with a good energy, positive energy, everything changes. It's like you start opening that doors that you never think is going to open. Because I get to know people, not like as a friend, like, oh, my man, or something like that, but it's people like, hey, you can show up tomorrow at this part? Okay, that's fine, I can go. And when you get there, it's like, oh, hi, how are you? Hey, come and sit with me, stay here, let's go have a chat. It's not only the podcasting, it's to the friendship, the people that is open to everything, that I'm just not thinking about. Because I have people on the podcast that have serious money and serious business, not like my podcast is small, right?
Right.
But like you, when you get there, it's like, for me, it's like, okay, if these people is here with this business, I want to make them feel like comfortable and also listen, like escuchados. Like, I care what they have to say. I care about. I'm not a tattooing artist, right? But I want to they know that I care about their craft.
That's true, because looking back, you did ask us tattoo questions. Mm-hmm. Like, you didn't just tell us, you know, you did ask us the general questions. You went in and it's like, you were curious about some actual process of the tattoo. I remember he asked us about the skin, right? Mm-hmm. How it reacted or something like that.
That's right.
I was like, whoa, okay. So you genuinely want to know about tattooing.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the part of the podcast is what I learned from me, that I want to learn from the people a lot of. If I can have a person sitting there 5 hours, we can be sitting there speaking about everything. I don't care the time or I care the time if I have another podcast,
Yeah.
right? But if I have the morning free, I can be there. Like this guy from the 3 hours, he told me, hey, how long can we do it? Wherever you want, sir. I tell, if you
did
want
tell
to
us that
tell me
too.
everything,
You're like,
that's
whatever
fine.
you want. You wanna
And
keep
he sit there and we start chatting since I think all his life. And I was amazed about everything I learned. And then we have a breakfast together. Is the thing I learned, that the people want to be like listen and also comprendidos. Like, okay, I feel you. Like, I know your struggles, because I think as Hispanics, we always think, oh, I suffer more than him.
Yeah.
He can even know how
That
I
victim
suffer.
mentality we're talking about.
That's the point. And I learned that for the podcasting, that everything has a history, something to teach, and that they're real people right there with a positive mind, with not only thinking about money like all people say. And that's something good that I take from that.
What I'm hearing from you is I'm actually analyzing it the way we have our interviewers too. It's like you said, you interview people with money and people are just starting, you know, but at the end of the day, they're doing something, right?
Yeah.
But the common thing that you have with all of them is that once they sit down and you have a conversation with them, that doesn't matter. It's here. you
Yeah,
know?
that's right.
It's that energy that is what matters. It doesn't matter how much money he has in the bank, he or she, or fame or influence, because we have artists that have a lot of influence, and then we have artists that are just starting, you know? But once we get into the mic and we have conversation, I think that's what podcasts do in a way. They simplify back down to just having a conversation.
Yeah, that's right. At the end of the things, they always tell me about the cameras also. That, oh, I don't know how to be on camera. I say, hey, don't worry. The camera is going to disappear as soon as we start talking.
Yeah.
You are going to feel it. And that happens. They start like, I feel like 20, 25 minutes starting, everything changes. They be more open. They want to chat more. The other day, I have a person over there, that he wants to speak more, and I have to cut it out.
Like,
not because I wanted for the time, no, because he's going to start talking about something that is going to be making problems for him.
Oh.
That's the problem, because
Yeah.
if other people tell to other people, hey, you know, this guy, you can throw him away,
Yeah.
it's going to be problems. And I explained to him, hey, you know what? When you have everything good, come back, and we can be here 5 hours, 6 hours, wherever you want.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And that's cool that you do that. So that's responsibility on your part, because we also tell our interviewers here, hey, if we're going to have a conversation, and then we're going to get like excited, and then we're going to start talking some stuff. And if you said something that maybe you shouldn't have, like, let us know, because it's our responsibility to have a good conversation, but not put somebody under the bus or get them in trouble. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because nowadays, everything that's on social media can be used wrong.
No, and the context. If you take it off of that context of the conversation, is you're dead. That's the truth.
I think that's the hardest part too about podcasting, like being a host and just interviewing people in general, is like you said, we're listening the whole time, and then we're also on the other side of our brain, we're thinking about what to say back to that. But now you also have to think about, how could I redirect this conversation to go to another way? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To continue that same flow of the conversation, but just change it up and not fuck someone up.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we've had interviewers that just can just talk, and they're nervous, and they just start talking. And some of that stuff doesn't really pertain to the podcast. And we have to understand as hosts that it's our job to redirect it, you know, in a nice way.
Yeah.
Like, nah, dude, you're not, you're off point, bro. Get back on, you know.
And these things, do you study them on YouTube, or
No.
is it just through experience?
No, it's through experience, because like I said, and the funny thing is, the podcast, I always listen on Spotify. I never saw a podcast on YouTube. I don't like to see the podcast, because for the books, I think it's for the books. You know, when you read a book, you make the history in your mind, right? You put whatever person, whatever.
You start making your own
Yeah.
avatar about them.
That's right. And when I saw on YouTube, I feel like the voice
Doesn't match.
doesn't match with the people. And it's like, wow, it's crazy.
Did I sound like all strong and muscular and handsome? Or what? That's how I am.
For me, is that the crazy part. But yeah, I learned from just listen to the podcast.
It's funny. Speaking of that, ¿cómo se llama el que está en español radio? El Piolín or whatever.
El Piolín, yeah.
Yeah, his voice did not match his face.
Yeah, that's
at
right.
all.
He's not match at all.
When I saw him, I was like, "Who the fuck is that?"
And that's the crazy part. I don't like to see the podcast on YouTube. Yeah, only for when I buy something.
I like to see the interactions, and mainly because now I like to say, oh, he did a transition back this way. Okay, I'm gonna tell my media guy to do this, And so I'm listening to that, and I'm listening to the context, and I'm listening to if it's genuine.
Yeah, you are looking more in a professional way, right?
Yeah, all aspects. Well, before, sometimes I do listen to on Spotify if I'm working out or something, but I find myself that I'm not really listening.
That's right.
I think it's because when we started, we didn't have Spotify or Apple Music or anything. We just had YouTube, so the only way we could do it was we knew it had to be on camera. You know what I mean? So we learned how to start picking little things from everyone and just trying to adjust that, and I guess we got used to.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. If I get wrong from the podcast, I like to see the podcast, but when it's 3 people or more.
Oh,
okay.
If it's 2 people, I like to hear it on the Spotify. Yeah,
Makes sense.
Because I think I know them already. Then I don't want to, because I always listen to the same podcast. Always.
Really?
Yeah, I try
And they're
to
in
change
Spanish?
some. Yeah, in Spanish.
What's it called? Is it The Decision? No, I was kidding.
My yeah, no, I
You'll
never.
listen to this-
I cannot listen. I even cannot listen to my podcast or to watch me on YouTube.
No, but you did mention that you like to listen to this podcast. Which one is it?
One is Creativo, Dementes, Cracks, and Sinergéticos. Yeah, the 4 of them from Mexico.
What are they about?
It's about something similar to trees of business, like chatting business, more specific in the business size. Cracks is more specific in the business size. Creativo is more specific in the person and only chatting. If they speak about the climate, they speak about rain and sun, something like that.
You think you get motivation from that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can take away from what they do and you apply it to your.
Yeah, make something of my own.
That's cool.
Perspective.
Yeah.
Going back to your thing though, so you don't like to hear yourself or watch yourself? No.
Yeah, when I saw the first episode, it was like, oh man, like what the fuck are you doing like that? Yeah, but you were learning, you go learning. Like my poster when I started, it was like this.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, "Come on here, please." You see that?
I think.
Wow.
I feel like we never like our own voice and anything. The more you do it, anyways. I heard other people say that too.
Yeah.
You never like it, you just get used to it and you say fuck it.
Yeah, that's right. At the end is if you decide to do it, why you start putting some walls or something like that in middle. You have to keep going.
Personally, I hate my laugh. So
Left.
I hate it too.
Yeah. See, they hate it too. They're fucking.
Fuck, I thought you. Glad someone said it.
No, you know what? I even listen to ours and we do this laugh right now, like we just did, and that's annoying to us sometimes. I'm like, man, maybe we should laugh a little less. But that's what we do anyways in a regular conversation. So it is what it is. People, if they know us, they already know us that we do this little laugh like at the end. We go, ha ha,
I'm going to just go, ha ha ha.
Yeah, because if we just do, like, it's not us.
Uh-huh.
If I find something funny, I'm going to let it, you'll hear it
like
across the way.
It's like that girl, I don't know if you ever seen MTV, the one Ridiculousness. That girl.
Oh, and she's known for the laugh, you know what I'm saying? So we just got to accept who we are.
That's
we can't
you of our
change
show.
it.
No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, bro.
See, I learned to kind
I
of
didn't
like.
even know about your laugh until you just brought it up right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Now he's going to be hearing it the whole time.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, really, I've been having to deal with it since like we're 13. No,
So is Spanish podcasts big? Are they big? Hay muchos
Right here or Mexico?
in Mexico.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah?
Yeah, and Creativo is it have a big position right here in the U.S.
What is it called? How do you say it?
Creativo.
Creativo.
Yeah. Roberto Martinez. Yeah, he have a lot of
listen to
audience right here. A lot of. He, I think, is in the first.
He's like the Joe Rogan.
Oh, is he?
That's right.
Like he's not like him.
So my
but
Wi-Fi.
He's as big as him.
No, he always said that his influence for the podcasting is Joe Rogan. He always look at him and he replicates in his
What is it? Creativo
podcast.
podcast?
Yeah, he's a guy in a red square.
Speaking about Joe Rogan, I think he has people wait in a room if he's still interviewing someone.
I don't know, but
think I've seen that.
I love to see Joe Rogan's.
I think he only
But-
does once a day, no?
Really?
But yeah, because he makes 5 hours, 6 hours.
Can't find it. How do you
Is
spell it?
it's crazy the Joe Rogan thing.
Well, I seen I don't know who was someone did it,
Creativo,
and they were talking about how the whole process. So basically, they get there, and then they're chilling for 2 hours. They chill for 2 hours, and they're drinking, and they're smoking all that,
Yeah.
and then they go and do the podcast for the next 3 hours, and then sometimes they chill after.
Oh,
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so they get to know the person
it's
and
not
feel
on
more
Instagram,
comfortable.
huh?
So
Yeah,
the actual
sí,
person that's
Roberto
getting interviewed,
MTZ en
they could
Instagram.
actually, be more comfortable on camera.
Yeah, the Joe Rogan experience is crazy, right there. I don't look more when for the COVID thing that they put in something like in social media that they want to cancel him, and I start to look at him because it changed. Because first he said like I don't give a fuck who tell me what to say or
Right,
everything like that, and when that happens, he apologizes, and I know they take the context out of the thing. But it was like, okay, you say one thing first, and then you are
Right. He
saying
basically changed. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he just signed that thing. But have you noticed? Has mirado los videos that how they study how he does podcasting?
yeah, in the laptop, yeah, with the laptop, with the camera of the laptop and everything like that.
No, but not just that. Like how they dissect how he talks to people, how he changes the conversations, how he's able to like stop someone midway and then reverse and then change the conversation to something else. You know what I mean?
Do you think smoking weed helps?
Probably.
More focused?
No, he's a big. Also,
Because that's what he does, right?
he's a big comedian. He's a
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
stand-up
He
guy.
understands
He
relationships.
knows about that. He have to have something about psychology, I think.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah,
about that.
I mean that's what they're saying. Is because the way he opens it up is like he starts and get compliments at first, and then from there, they get more comfortable that way because they just got complimented, and then they go back to, okay, now this is what we're gonna talk about. They
Yeah.
talk about it, and then to get back on point, they switch it up.
That's funny that you say that because one of the books that I've read is How to Win Friends and Influence People. And in that book, it says, if you want to get to know somebody, they have their own thing going on. They're not going to just open up to you. So you have to give them a lot of value. So you have to like compliment them, listen to them, let them talk about themselves more than you talk. If you want to win an argument with them, you have to listen to them first and then listen to what they're saying before you can say your own opinion to them. So to win a friend, you have to like listen to them and hear their struggles and kind of compliment them on some things like, man, you came with a nice shirt today, bro. It matches your shoes today, like, and then you automatically feel like, oh man, he acknowledged that I took the time to choose this outfit,
Yeah.
and that helps in building a relationship. So little things like that I remember that helped. You know what I'm saying? I apply that all the time.
Yeah, it's the little things, the details that ones that count. I always, when somebody get to my office, I always get down from him, and they told me, hey, I can go up on the elevator. They say, hey, you are coming with me?
Yeah.
I can go to the parking lot for you.
Yeah.
And I start the conversation right there. Like
Kind of
everything.
start loosening them up, huh? I noticed you did that. That's smart because then or else we didn't know where to go. Press the wrong elevator, would be somewhere else.
And that's crazy. At the end, they are your guesses.
Yeah.
How you are not going to acompañarlos or something like that on the day.
What do you think podcasting is going in the future? You think it's gonna be way more of them?
Yeah, I think because everybody can make a podcast, right?
Yeah.
And everybody have his or her own voice, and I think since more people is like listening or watching like, oh, these guys are making the podcast or this or my nephew or my cousin or my aunt, it's like I can make it too. It's okay. Like blogging, when blogging started on YouTube, everybody was a blogger, or right now with the influencers, everybody wants to be, but no everybody is an influencer. But everybody's like, oh, look, my perfect photos, my perfect travels, my perfect food.
Yeah.
And for podcasts, I think it's the same with the COVID. When COVID hits, I think more people start thinking or doing it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more of this, but I think it have to evolve in something else also.
Like what?
I don't know what, but I think the lives, something like in live, making lives.
More of an experience, huh?
Yeah, something like that, like no editing. Like, oh, I have to my podcast at 1 p.m. Okay, we put the live button and we're streaming right away.
And then everybody leaves, and then they come back for another number 2 or something like that.
Yeah, I think something like that
Yeah.
is
Give it
going
more
to be-
authenticity, right?
Yeah.
So kind of how basically podcasting overtook radio, right?
Mm-hmm.
This what you're talking about is more about how podcasting would overtake TV, like
Yeah,
how,
that's right.
You know what I mean? Just start it.
Yeah, because if you notice from YouTube, we already have channel TVs on YouTube. Like this guy Franco Escamilla from Mexico,
Yeah.
he have his own TV channel on YouTube. He puts his different episodes from his different programs from his network. He have a lot of content right there. Like he says all the time, "This is my TV channel. Is what I want."
Mm-hmm.
That's the
I agree. YouTube is blowing up so crazy. Everybody has their channels. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has so many channels out there. And if you need that attention, going back to being podcasting is a business, you need to be out there getting attention, and YouTube is the way.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, a lot of people say Spotify or something like that, or Instagram or TikTok, but I think the final is YouTube, because everybody wants to change them to YouTube. That's the final goal, to take it from there to YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I think it's where you can show up who you are. If you want to show who you are or what you think about everything, is the only way. In TikTok is like, I think, like a minute video or something like that, right? And YouTube is less.
Yeah. YouTube can be an hour, 2 hours, and it can be
Whatever you
shorts
want.
now too.
8 hours.
What I've been reading on YouTube is that now YouTube's gonna be better than Google, because like the other day or 2 days ago, I needed to rent an RV because we go to Glamis, California, every Thanksgiving. But the RV that I wanted to get, it was already booked, so I had to get another one. And the host who was renting that RV put the name of it, and I was like, and she put really bad. She didn't put that great of pictures, you know. Some people put a lot of pictures, other people. So I went on YouTube and I searched that RV.
Oh, okay.
And then I saw a lot of videos of walkthroughs, you know? So I used YouTube as my way of trying to figure out if that RV is good for my family.
Yeah.
You know? And had that company not had that, I wouldn't have known, you know? Now that company I could probably even go back there and possibly buy an RV from them because they gave me that value. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's different because, I never think about that, but that's true because when I was looking for my truck, I was looking on the Google, right?
Yeah.
On the browser. And the first 2 or 3 archives, it was YouTube.
YouTube directions,
Or YouTube showroom. I was like, wow, now the trucks are selling on YouTube too. And I hit the link, sorry.
Yeah.
And I went to the video of the truck, like, this is the truck.
The walkthrough.
Yeah.
So any car salesman should have a YouTube channel of the cars they're selling,
Yeah, that's right.
And maybe that's another way, going back to podcasting as a business, you know? You're doing it fast, and you're going to be learning and perfecting it, right? So another source of income for you later is to show the how-to of podcasting. Once you get that wherever you want with interviews, you have more time, and let's say you're able to get compensated and make enough money to sustain your life however you want through partnerships or sponsorships, you can start those how-to videos of how to get better mics, how to do conversations, and then people are going to be finding you through there. You know, that's why we do a lot of how-to videos here on how to tattoo.
Yeah, that's right. It's another way to get the attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Because right now everything is attention. Yeah. If you see every single, I don't know if you read about this thing that happened with TikTok and Instagram recently, that they they are trying to separate themselves because you can put your link of Instagram on TikTok, something like that, and they are going to stop doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they want the the TikTok people, they want like YouTube. If in YouTube or Facebook or Instagram you put your links to another social media, they punish you.
Oh.
Yeah, they lower your reach because they want the people to stay on.
They want to stay on their
On the
app.
app.
That makes sense.
That's right.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I gotta take my link off. So you can do it on YouTube, right? You can still do YouTube, but you can't do.
Yeah, on YouTube, yeah, you can do it over
I'll
there.
send you a link after we're done podcast about this one guy we just saw. It was 10 minutes long and he basically nailed it. A long time ago, the big companies was about the scarce, the resources like oil, coal, all that stuff, right? And like the big dogs in the U.S. that are billionaires, super wealthy, they became that by getting all those resources, and that was the way to make money back then, to be really rich. He's saying now that at this time it's not even about resources, it's about getting attention, and attention is all the channels, like the top 4 or 5 companies are all social media data driven companies. So it was pretty interesting to think that, you know what I'm saying? And we're doing our best at trying to grab our little attention that we can, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Attention is power nowadays. You know what I mean? Look
But
at
the attention in a good way, because all these so-called gurus also, I don't know if it's the same name in English, gurus?
Yeah,
For the guru?
gurus,
Yeah. That they tell you like, okay, follow me and I'm going to make you rich in 1 month or 15 days.
Yeah.
And they send you a link with something free, but you have to pay like, I don't know, a monthly payment or something to be
a
part of the
subscription.
VIP or something like that.
that's a scam. Right
Yeah,
there.
that's really, really. And what I noticed with the podcast right now, I remember, is I follow a lot of accounts, right? And a lot of accounts with the same name of the accounts that I follow, but with a dot or something like iconic project studio dot L. Follow me and send me links. Like, hey, you want a tattoo? Just follow this link and you get it. That's crazy right there, because I get like, just yesterday I get 3 accounts
Yeah.
like for my list that with a little change and send me links. And I was like, what is happening right now?
Oh,
Yeah,
the spam.
the spam. Yeah,
accounts.
never click those links. Don't even open those messages because then they'll take your account away.
Yeah, always
Like
block
for
them.
me, there recently, right? There's like 8 accounts of mine being made.
Oh yeah, I saw your story that
Yeah.
they were offering free tattoos, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's doing a giveaway as we speak right now.
I signed up on the 8 of them and I don't get it. Why?
You're gonna get something, all right, but now you're gonna get canceled, bro. Yeah, so a lot of them change his name slightly,
Yeah, that's
so that
right.
they can, so his followers can go on there and start adding it or whatever, and
trick people. Yeah.
trick people into getting the money.
Yeah,
that's
one of
crazy.
them was like, "Hey, why is your other account asking for my debit card?" I was like, yeah, you went that far?
That's crazy.
For real, huh?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So Hector, give
Yeah.
us. We like to, always help out people that like watching our videos, right? Give us 3 tips that you would give somebody that wants to start his own podcast. Like he got motivated by you right now, and he says, I'm a good talker. I can start something. I want to talk about beer. I want to talk about, I don't know if you can talk about weed. Can you talk about weed?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, it's legal right now.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What 3 tips would you give our audience?
3 tips.
it simple.
To start, make the research. Yeah, make the research, because if you don't know what are you doing, or if you have the money, or don't even need that kind of money for the most expensive equipment, you can make a podcast with an iPhone, with a little mic, something like that, something regular. And also the research, because for me the most important thing is the space where you are going to do it. That's the thing. If you are going to, like me, in a small office, you can get pretty good quality equipment for a lower price than for something needed. Like right here, we have a lot of equipment that is expensive, like it's serious money right there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Make your research about your pockets, if you can afford it, and you can go ahead. The second tip, I think, is that they have to think really think if they want to do it and why they want to do it. Because one thing is get the equipment is easy. You get Amazon Prime and you get it in 2 days, right?
Yeah.
But to start doing it, like for me, it was hard when I started putting it all together, getting the notes. It was something like I was thinking like, oh man, why I keep doing this? Why? And I know why, right? For me, but for them, if they want it, isn't if you have 2 views, 3 views, 5 views, but if you are doing it because you want it and you like it and it's your passion, keep going. Keep going because you are going to find somebody that is like you that is going to make your follower like is going to like what are you saying or is going to share your talks, and that person is going to follow you every single day. They are going to like the content. And the third one, don't be afraid about the no, because 5 no's is getting close to a yes. And I'm a really proof of that because I have more than, I think, 250 no's, and I have already like 50, 60 yes. And that's what matters for me.
That's very good. I like that last one. Don't be afraid of the no's.
Yeah, that's right, because you can lose for the no's. You already have it.
Yeah.
But if you get the yes, it's open a new door.
You gain everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bro,
that's right.
Those are good. Those are really good tips, man. Coming from somebody that's very, very active in podcasting right now. You put in, I could easily think, maybe over 100 hours of podcasting, maybe more?
Yeah, I think something like that.
30 podcasts. The setups, the editing, all that. You know, that's a lot of hours, bro. It's a lot of hours of learning and in a short time. You know, so we're excited to see your growth later and where you're gonna be, dude. You're gonna be one of those big dogs that were like, we interviewed that guy once.
Yeah.
Maybe one time I is the final vision, right? But
Dream big.
we are good where we are at the spot, and we don't have a hurry to, hey, I want more views or I want to be more up. I'm okay where like the way I walk in this way, it's okay with me, and
I
that's
think you're
perfect
enjoying
for
the
me.
process.
Yeah.
Right? You're enjoying that start process where you don't have to worry about sponsors saying, hey, you know,
Yeah,
you need to be out more. You're doing it for you right now.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
yeah, for me,
dope.
for learning, that's the most important thing.
Cool, man. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me and for.
Yeah, I know we're short on a little time. You got to go do your podcasts right now, huh?
For all your followers and viewers, sorry for my English. Is what I have to.
We'll put captions, bro.
to
Don't
offer.
worry about it. No,
That's good, man.
No, it was good.
Yeah, thank
It
you.
was really good. Yeah.
No, thank you for having me, for inviting me. It's a new experience. I never be the invitado in the podcast,
invitado?
but it's different. Yeah, it's good too.
Yeah, you're gonna get more, dude. Like I said, we felt the same feeling when you invited us, and we're there. We're like, we felt special because, you know, now we're doing it on the opposite side, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So cool, man. You wanna end this podcast for us today, brother?
Yeah, man. I just want to say, you know, thanks for sharing your story and like your dedication, or just you even being like super about podcasting is it's inspiring. So, you know, thanks you for your time, and if you guys like, comment, do that good stuff.
All that stuff. All that good stuff. We out.